Hi, welcome back. Now it's time to have a look at under the hood and see what powers this demo. So there's three parts to getting audio video content, be it live or on demand, to a mobile device, or in fact any player. Three parts are content creation, content delivery, and then content playback. The last of those is handled by the native player on the device, or an embedded player, or something like that. The first two is what we'll concentrate on. So first of all, from content creation is where Xenon Live Encoder comes into play. Now here we've got the application running, got the job loaded. I could just start that, and soon enough you'll be able to see me on the screen. So here we are, encoding content live. Now I've got this application running, encoding in several different profiles. Here we've got about 1.3 megabits per second, 720 by 480 at 25 frames per second. Pretty smooth video. That's what was powering the video that was being delivered to the iPhone and the iPad, as well as the embedded player, the Silverlight plugin, also of course working with embedded flash plugin. There's the encoder once deliver anywhere technology, because what that does is only one encoder is required, and then that video stream is then repacketized, repurposed as far as the container is concerned, and then that can be delivered via HTTP to all of these different types of players. Apple devices receive video very differently than Silverlight, which is very different to Flash. We'll show you that working under the hood in just a moment. Of course, we've got other profiles. They're not running. I've switched them off. Medium one, the Android target device, that was about 384 kilobits per second, 20 frames per second. That's a resolution of 480 by 320. And finally, the lowest device was the Nokia, which was the 192 kilobits per second, 352 by 288 at 15 frames per second. Now that's the encoding. On the delivery side, there is a virtualizer which I'm using called VMware Workstation that's got a number of virtual machines working here. We'll have a look at those in just a moment. So here are the virtualized machines, virtual machines running within the virtualizer, in this case VMware Workstation. There's two which I want to concentrate on. This one here and this one here. Now let's go to this one here first. This is running a number of Xenon components. It's running Xenon Download Module and Xenon Streaming Mediator. Xenon Download Module is based on Apache, and it enables devices and players to make HTTP requests. So it's powered by Apache, it's stable, it's very well proven technology. It powers so many web servers around the world today. And then we've added our own enhancements to do things like session control and other things within there for HTTP sessions. The other thing we've got running here is Xenon Streaming Mediator, which is the key to the encode once, deliver everywhere technology. And I'll show you how that works. Let's log into this machine first of all. Now, if we go into where the applications are, I've got them in /app. Not usually where I'd have them installed on a production box, but this is just a demo one. It's quick and it works. If we go into where Apache is, we can start this up. This starts Apache up. So the next step that we're going to do is start up Xenon Streaming Mediator. Here you can see is the installation directory for the mediator, and if we go into this directory, we can just run a shell script that's provided with the application to start this up. So there you go. The SNMP agent was already running from a previous session, which is why this message appears. Xenon Streaming Mediator is now ready to go. So as we've got the encoder running here already, I'll just minimize this. Then all we need to do is to issue a command to Xenon Streaming Mediator to simply go and create the segments. Now let's do that using a quick way, in other words a browser. This is the URL I'm typing. It's an HTTP URL, and we're supplying a couple of parameters here. Essentially it tells the XSM to start segmenting with these parameters. And as you can see, OK has been returned. Now, let's go back to the box, and as soon as we can see this is done, we can go into the download repository. That's just the location I've specified, and there's a place called dvcam automatically created, and as you can see, here's where the chunks and fragments are being created. If I do another ls a few seconds later, you can see there's more. And here we've got MP4Fs and the manifest.xml file which is being created dynamically. All the stale chunks and fragments, of course, will be deleted once they're no longer valid. And then if we go and have a look at the M3U8, which is here, that's the master playlist for the iPhone. There's a subdirectory which has been created as well. If we have a look at that, there you can see the transport string chunks for the iPhone and the iPad. Now those transport stream chunks and MP4Fs and manifest.xml file, all the fragments and segments, they're being created nicely. Let's have a look now at the streamer. What XSM does, in addition to creating the fragments, is it acts as a relay. And at the same time as these fragments and segments are being created and all the metadata, then it also provides a stream, relays the stream on to this machine here. Now this here is the Xenon streaming server, which deals primarily with RTSP only. Now if we log into this box, then we can see that it's already running. We've got that to start up automatically. Again, we've got it installed here. That's where everything is, all the binaries and scripts and things. And then there's a directory called res. Now within that is all the metadata. Now if I go into this location here, do pwd, here we can see the entire location. This is where all the metadata for all the live streams are. Now these files here are not actual media files. They're not actual 3GP items of content. They're just files containing some textual information. Let's have a look inside one of those. This just simply contains a couple of items of information, the IP address of the encoder, which in this case is the native IP address of where XLE is running, and a unique ID, a description, and then a name, which is what this is called within XLE. And this essentially enables an RTSP URL to then be formed to this machine in order to go and stream that particular live channel.